Things happen on the road, it's part of life, and unfortunately, even at my level, being as careful as I am, mistakes and things will still happen. And something happened on a driving lesson this week that I certainly have been struggling to digest. I've felt very embarrassed about it, and I definitely felt a bit ashamed. Hopefully this can serve to newer drivers and even more anxious drivers, that even being as careful as I am as a professional driver, that things still can happen. And it doesn't make you a bad person, it doesn't make you a bad driver, but you need to sort of always be learning from your mistakes. So on the driving lesson in question, my learner and I were on a dual carriageway and we were turning around between two roundabouts, with the goal being that she is trying to figure out how to integrate a more powerful gear smoothly as she approaches a roundabout. So most roundabouts she's selecting second gear and then trying to build that in without a horrible jolt to the car. And she's doing really well at this. And as we approach this roundabout, it's lovely, everything goes really well, and we're moving around the roundabout and we exit well as well. So all looks good. Now she is very anxious, so she's building up speed a little bit slow. And then the horrific incident happened, and we were overtaken by a Kia Picanto. Horrific. It is the car that I loathe the most. Come on, be strong. So back in June, I had a rear end shunt, and I was given a like-for-like car by my insurance company while mine was being fixed. And I have a lovely Mazda 2. It's very nice. It's one of the most comfortable, certainly nicest cars I've owned. And I was given this, which is, I called it Kenneth. It's Kenneth the Kia, and he's a Kia Picanto GT. And when it first turned up, I pictured my insurance company rolling around on the floor laughing, saying, I've just given this guy like for like, he has a Mazda 2 and I've given him a Kia Picanto. And they're just howling on the floor. I can picture them. When it turned up, I thought, what a horrid little car. And then I got in it and I thought, oh, I don't like this. And then I turned it on and I thought, oh, I really don't like this. But I thought, oh, at least it's a GT. It's got a turbo. I'll take it for a nice drive and, have a bit of fun while mine's getting fixed. And then I drove it and I thought, oh, I really don't like this. The most pointless turbo ever fitted to a car. I mean, my lawnmower is more powerful. Still struggling. In the 5 weeks that I owned that car, I managed to find something that I really, really liked about it, and that was giving it back. Every time I see a Kia Picanto on the roads, I am transported back to that hideous 5-week period, and it still sends shivers down my spine. But the driving gods were not on my side that day, because literally a few minutes later, we were turning round at the roundabout again, the same roundabout. We've done a loop, and again, the exit's really nice. And we were then overtaken by another Kia Picanto. And I couldn't believe what I was really seeing, to be honest. I felt ashamed that twice in a row we've been smoked by this beast of a car. What I taught my learner after that was in the highway code rule 184, which is about roundabouts. She hadn't been paying enough attention. And if you look at the last bullet point, it says, be aware of the speed and position of all the road users around you. Kia Picantos could be lurking. It says that in the highway code. If it doesn't say it in yours, you might not have the most up-to-date copy. So she wasn't aware enough of the Kia Picantos. And actually, I have to admit that I wasn't. I didn't see them until they overtook us. I didn't register they were Kia Picantos. So I've got to learn a lesson here as well. It's a hideously distracting car. For safety reasons, I'm going to demonstrate you how to deal with the situation me and my learner faced correctly if you see a Kia Picanto in your mirrors as you exit a roundabout. So I may have to simulate this, because despite the hideousness of it, there's actually quite a few around, but there's probably not one when you need one. So I will simulate. So let's see, there's none on my right, which is good. There doesn't look to be any approaching from there. That's a Renault Clio, so that's not very hideous. But let's say that Clio is a a Kia Picanto. What I should now do is absolutely floor it to make sure I can put as much distance as possible. It's a 70, so I need to get up to 70. No Kia Picanto can do 70, that's a fact. They actually blow up before then. And that would be the safest response. So look, obviously a bit of a fun one today. I'm in a silly mood. Hopefully I don't offend anyone. But is there a car, I'm interested in this because I'm not a massive car guy, believe it or not, but is there a car that really you just look at and you think, oh, and have like the same response as I do to a Kia Picanto? And don't say a Mazda 2 because that's not fair. Someone actually designed that car and they meant it to look how it looks. And then they took it upstairs to their boss and their boss went, yeah, I really like that, build it. So they built it. And then when they sat in it and drove it, they still didn't see their blunder. They still kept it as it was. It's the type of car that, you know, only James May could love. And no Kia Picantos this time, so I can save a bit of fuel and just accelerate much more gently. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Like I said, is there any cars that you really just don't get on with? You really, really don't like? It's always interesting just to, have a slightly different one than such a boring instructional video. Let's just, throw one of these in every now and then, something a bit silly.